This is Gather, a collection of desk setup accessories. Now, this isn't a sponsored video, but the company behind it, Ugmonk, sent me this for free to review and make this video about. What's great about Gather, the desk setup accessories, is that everything is modular, so you just get the parts that you want. And if you want to add on something later, you absolutely can. You can pick that up separately. If I had to pick a theme for this, I would say it's all about optimizing your desk while making it look really good. Basically upgrading your desk setup to a more modern aesthetic. This comes in a couple of different configurations. So for the metal pieces, it's either black or white. And then for the wood, and this is real wood, you're not gonna find particle board on any of this stuff. It comes in either walnut or maple. Okay, so let's get into the different parts of Gather. If there is a centerpiece to this whole setup, it's the monitor stand. It comes in two sizes, a small and a large. The small one is 26 inches wide and the large one is 39 inches wide. I have the large one here. The whole setup is extremely well made. It's sturdy enough to hold an Apple Studio display with the tilt and height adjustable stand, and that's not a light monitor at all. The monitor stand is especially nice if you have a monitor that doesn't adjust. Most of the stands that monitors come on are too short ergonomically, so this props it up to a better height. But I use the Studio display with tilt and height adjust. So what I do is I set the monitor on the desk and then put the monitor stand between the monitor and the desk. So for my desk setup, and when I'm sitting at my desk, it looks like the monitor is just kind of floating because you don't see the monitor stand at this point. It also gives me extra space to put knickknacks and a few other accessories that I have on my desk. But the Studio display absolutely fits on the monitor stand if you would like to go the more traditional route and actually use the monitor stand for the monitor. There is also a shelf on the monitor stand. This is great for storing hardware that would normally sit out. A 14-inch MacBook or an iPad or even a Mac Mini could sit in here. This makes for a really nice touch to help organize your desk setup. Now, I use the shelf for my audio interface and CF Express card reader. Neither of these items are attractive, but they are necessary for me to have out. This way I can tuck them away, but still get to them when I need them. The next piece is a laptop stand. Just like everything else that's made from metal and real wood. The laptop stand is a good height and can sit on the monitor stand if you like. But what I like to do is slide it next to the monitor stand and put my iPad on it, even when I'm using my MacBook. I use my MacBook in clamshell, but connect to my iPad via universal control. This way my iPad is next to me and I can use just one keyboard and mouse for everything. Typically, I leave my iPad on the home screen and use it as a dashboard. With all the widgets there, I can see stuff like my task manager and calendar, weather, things like that. Something to note about the laptop stand though, it doesn't adjust in any way, so there's no tilt or height adjust to it. So if you put a laptop or an iPad on there, you have to adjust the laptop at the hinge level, at the laptop level. You can't adjust the stand. However, it does rotate. The next piece is the organizer set, and this is a bunch of little pieces kind of made up from this, and you can kind of choose what you use out of this. I mentioned how I saw the monitor stand as kind of the center of this setup, despite everything being modular. That's because all of the pieces in the organizer set are magnetic and can stick to the monitor stand or any other metal magnetic surface. There are several different pieces to this organization set. So the first is a base plate. Now this is great if you don't want to use the monitor stand. Everything in the organization set will stick to this base plate, and it can hold all the different pieces. So if you want to stick this in front of your monitor or off to the side, that's what this is really for. The bottom part of the base plate is not magnetic, so while you can stick things to the base plate can't be stuck to something like the monitor stand. Now the first organization piece is the square tray. So I have a lot of little things sitting on my desk like SD cards, CF Express cards, batteries, all sorts of these little things that can very easily get lost. And this square tray just gives me one place to put all of that stuff. This way it doesn't get lost. And there's also a really nice lid to match all the other wood pieces in the Gather setup. The next piece is the zigzag tray. Now this is for storing pens, pencils, Sharpies, any of that kind of thing. I don't do a ton of handwriting, but when I need a pen, it's nice to just have one right there, know exactly where it is, and not go like digging through my drawers to find one. Then there is the vertical phone stand. This is extremely nice, especially with the new iPhone 14 Pro line. Using a vertical stand with the always on display, so handy. I set up a lock screen to give me useful work widgets I can glance at. I can also see notifications, and with live activities, I can see things like timers. It's honestly like having another display on my desk, but I would have my phone sitting on my desk anyways, but on a vertical phone stand, it's just right there in front of me and I can just look right down at it. It's not like off to the side where I normally keep my phone. But this isn't the only phone stand option in the Gather setup. There's also a MagSafe phone stand. So what you can do is you can attach a MagSafe puck to this and it sticks to it. There's some sticky material, it sticks right to it, it stays on, it does a really good job at that. And this is another vertical stand, so you get all the benefits of the previous one, but it also charges your phone. Personally, this is the one I prefer to use just because it'll keep my phone topped off. The magnets of the MagSafe are strong enough too to hold your iPhone up. Like I have mine kind of sitting towards the edge of the monitor stand and my phone just dangles off there. Never falls off, doesn't wiggle or anything like that. It's really sturdy and it stays on there. If you have the 2nd generation AirPods Pro, you can also attach the case to this and it'll charge it as well. Then we come to the notes tray for all of you Post-it notes lovers out there. This is obviously a perfect place to keep a stack of Post-it notes, but I don't really use Post-it notes. What I do is I keep my AirPods Pro here. That way I know where they are. Typically in the past, like I would like put them some random place in my office or in my bedroom and I'd have to spend like a couple of minutes tracking them down. This has kind of like become their home. And the last piece in the organization kit is the pencil holder. I don't do a lot with pencils, but if you do a lot with pencils or pens or Sharpies or that kind of shaped thing, this is perfect for you. Now, if you're like me and you don't do a lot with pencils or anything like that, you can take the lid off and you can store taller items in this, like reading glasses. Kind of a nice place to put that stuff. The last item I want to talk about is the headphone stand. Like the organization set, it also has a magnetic base, and it sticks to the monitor stand, the base plate, or any other magnetic metal surface. This is a great headphone stand. You'd think like headphone stands, like there wouldn't really be too much to it to make them great, but there's one thing in particular. Making them tall enough so that you can plug in the charging cable while they are resting on there. I've had a couple of headphone stands that they're like, oh, hey, these are made for the AirPods Max or something like that. And you put them on there and they're like just above this ground, like they're just above the surface so you can't plug the lightning cable into it and charge them while they're sitting there. This one, they're tall enough so they're up out of the way so you can plug the cable into it so they can be charging while sitting on the stand. Obviously, everything in the Gather setup was designed to work together and look good together. But if you just want the laptop stand or the monitor stand or the organization kit, you can get just that. But all the pieces look really good together. And what's really nice is they use all neutral colors. So no matter what like the color of your desk is or what your office is painted as or any of that stuff, there's gonna be some combo that looks good in your setup. Personally, everything about this is perfect for my setup. Like aesthetic wise, it matches like the aesthetics that I like, and each piece is extremely well made. Like I said, it's real wood, the metal's solid, the wood isn't particle board. It's exactly what I want out of this kind of thing for my desk setup. I take a lot of pride in my office and like my desk setup because it's a place that I spend a lot of time. So I want to make sure the stuff that's in here, I enjoy it. It looks good, and it's a place I want to spend my time at. At the time of publishing this video, the Kickstarter for this stuff is launching. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below to where you can go check it out. Once the Kickstarter ends, I will swap that link out for the final link. Now, I don't promote Kickstarters on this channel. In the life of this channel, I believe the channel's turning 7 years old in November. I've only promoted like 2 or 3 Kickstarters. It is not something I do because I do see them as a gamble. But the ones that I have promoted, it's behind, you know, established companies that have already made a version of the product and I have used it. So, you know, the Gather I've already used. The other Kickstarter I did was the Charge-In MagFloat iPad stand. I had used that. They had made stuff. So I don't promote Kickstarters for, you know, just like, hey, this thing looks cool. I see Kickstarters as a gamble. But the company behind this one, Ugmonk, like, they're established. Like, they've made stuff in the past. Like, this isn't their first rodeo doing this kind of thing. So I trust them to make it. Also, I know they've already made it because I've been using it. I'm not entirely sure what the final pricing, like once everything's all said and done, like the Kickstarter's all said and done, I don't know exactly what it's going to be. So you'll have to go check out those links and kind of determine if it's worth it for you. But personally for me, everything is really well made. It looks really nice. And that's what I want out of desk accessories. I will put links to everything in the description below so you can go check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.